Being a spiritual life coach is perhaps one of the most rewarding vocations on the planet. And it doesn't require a certificate or an ordainment, which means that there's a huge responsibility in doing it right. Learn more in this video. So in this video, I'm going to share a little bit about what spiritual life coaches do, and then what are the essential skills in order to do it well. So what a spiritual life coach can do is, number one, help people see a different perspective in the situations that they're facing. So a lot of times people come to a spiritual life coach because they're dealing with a particularly challenging time in their lives. And what a spiritual life coach can do is to help them see that in a broader context so that they can make peace with what's going on and they can move forward in a more empowered way. Another thing that a spiritual life coach can do is to help somebody see blind spots. So often when we are in the middle of a situation, it can be hard for us to have a broader perspective and to see it inside of a larger context. And a lot of times somebody from the outside, someone who's trained or someone who has a special insight or intuition, can help us see things that we're not seeing. For example, they might be able to observe after learning about us and talking to us about our childhood or our past. They might help us to observe certain patterns and see certain repeating patterns in our lives that we don't even notice. Now, if you want to learn more about blind spots, which is really interesting, I have a video that you can click on up here about Johari's window, which is a way of learning about opening up and seeing blind spots and having the ability to help other people see blind spots as well. Another thing that a spiritual life coach can do is tell the truth and speak the truth in a way that sometimes the people in our lives won't do. You know, sometimes the people who love us the most are the ones that are the most averse to telling us the truth about what they see. And oftentimes, it's the people that we resist hearing the truth from. Somebody who's a spiritual life coach can have a credibility, can have a level of trust with us. We know that they're telling us the truth because they care, because they want to see us succeed and improve. So we can listen to the truth from them in a way that we often can't from others. Another thing that a life coach can do is to hold us to account in order to help us have accountability around the areas of our lives in which we want to improve. So often we know that we want to make a change in our health or in our lifestyle or in the way that we handle conflict or communicate with people in our families. A spiritual life coach can hold us to account in ways that we often won't let anybody else do it. They can do it with love, with tenderness, with reminders about what we actually want to create in our lives. And finally, something that spiritual life coaches can do is help us to find the blessings in the most challenging and difficult times. They can help us take a broader perspective on the things that we're struggling with and help us see how we are developing skills and strengths and power in the middle of these challenges. So in order to be a successful, effective spiritual life coach, these are some of the skills that it takes to do those things that I just talked about. The first skill is being neutral. So often in our culture, when we're talking to friends or we're giving advice to other people, we are not neutral. We are coming from a background or a perspective or a point of view that we're attached to. Something that spiritual life coaches are usually especially good at is in being detached and in helping us detach ourselves even from certain outcomes and ideas and helping us take a broader and more neutral view of things. Another really important skill is deep listening. Again, so often in our culture, we listen to people on a very surface level. We listen in order to respond or react. Whereas someone who is serving the role of a spiritual mentor or coach is someone who's generally adept at or trained at deep listening. That means listening with their heart, not just with their ears and their mind. It means listening for what is said, but also listening for what is not said, listening deeply under the surface, watching body language, and really feeling the energy that we're projecting when we're talking about or when we're doing certain things. A great spiritual mentor is also someone who has developed their intuition. This is related to what I just talked about. Our intuition is that instinctive sense of something, like there's an incongruency or there's something that's not being said or there's more to the story than what somebody is saying. So a great spiritual coach is someone who listens deeply and has a developed intuition about what's really happening beyond what they see just on the surface. A great spiritual coach also asks great questions. This means that, again, from that intuitive place of listening deeply with the heart, not just the mind, they're asking insightful questions that allow us to become more aware of something that we didn't even realize before. Another skill that great spiritual coaches have is that they don't consult with us. That means they don't tell us what to do. They don't give us the answer, but rather they draw it out of us so that it originates with us. It comes from within rather than them imposing something onto us. What I've found in my own practice with my own spiritual mentors is the best ones, instead of telling us what to do, they tell us stories, they give us metaphors, and they share analogies that illustrate situations and can get across concepts and points without trying to be prescriptive or directive in their knowledge or their advice. And the final thing that a great spiritual mentor needs to have, the skill to develop, is patience. Patience and understanding that each of us is on our own journey. They can't hurry us up. They have to help us arrive at these awarenesses, at these ahas, and see these blind spots at our own pace. And so patience is something for you to cultivate if you want to be a great spiritual coach or mentor. If you're wanting to be a spiritual coach and you're looking for ways to do it and monetize it without compromising your values or your vision or your purpose, let's connect. You can set up a free discovery call with me at superstaractivator.com/go. I have a lot of experience helping spiritual people generate revenues and profits in this very business-like world.